So it's just like, if that's generally your thing because you feel like, maybe the pendulum's swinging too much in one direction, then stand on your square, and it looks like you guys are.
There's a lot of square standing.
Because,
I think they heard Ghost of Yoda was gonna be there.
Ghost of Yoda.
They was like, yo.
To me, when you are the king of buy it at our store, Ubisoft Plus, Ubisoft, and you like, nah, Steam.
We need that Steam money, bro.
We need that Steam bread. Like, bro. Welcome to the Iron Lords podcast.
This past week has been eventful for Ubisoft, to say the least. After basically pulling out of TGS and now EGX with their first playable demo of Assassin's Creed Shadows, Ubisoft has decided to delay the game all the way into February, I guess February 14th of 2025. That's going to be when it's coming out now. So about a 3-month delay from their original release date. And once doing that, they also released a statement indicating that basically kind of addressing all the things that have been sort of leveled against Ubisoft recently, whether it's kind of, hey, what's going on with the change in and how things are run over there, what's going on with the stock price, that it's tumbling, you guys aren't able to kind of get anything off the ground. X-Defiant is, on one end they say X-Defiant is dying, they say X-Defiant is not dying, so we don't know the truth about that. And stuff just not hitting. They canceled, the Division Heartland. Yeah. So they're kind of trying to figure out where they're going. And then obviously, most recently, the soft sales of Star Wars Outlaws and a lot of the criticism of the game kind of are being undercooked at launch with some issues that require patching in terms of performance, in terms of the stealth being very unforgiving, a lot of different aspects of the game just not being where, people think they should be. And Yves Guillemot came out and addressed all of that stuff. So I have a little message from Mr. Guillemot himself.
Oh, he's here?
Yeah, Yves Guillemot's here.
Oh, okay, let's speak to Yves.
Hello, everyone. Yves Guillemot. Don't worry, I'm not here to berate you all for the shite performance of Star Wars Outlaws as you're expecting me to. I'm just here to reassure all of our lovely fans that due to the fact that we released this shite game into the wild for public consumption, I want to guarantee all of you, that everyone at Ubisoft, and I do mean everyone, will be working day and night until our fingers and eyeballs bleed that this game comes to the point where it's supposed to be. And our friends at Disney are no longer threatening me over the phone because of this mailed product that I have released.
Oh, man, Yves.
And as a result of that, you already know that we've pushed the release of our game Assassin's Creed Shadows into February. Valentine's Day, to be exact.
Seems like another month that you're trying to capture as well, Mr. Yves Guillemot.
Yes.
Because certain communities, it's a certain history month you seem to be targeting to try to get yourself back right.
Exactly. As I said before,
so
we are an entertainment company.
On the phone.
We are an entertainment company. I have no idea what your problem is with our characterization, Assassin's Creed Shadows. And quite frankly, I do not care.
Damn, Yves. I
like this, Yves.
I like this, man. I mean, we love you, Yves. Like you're so historic in the game. Everything that Ubisoft does. And
I'm gonna tell you right now, I should have let Vivendi take over this shite company years ago. But here we are. Here we are. So I guarantee our loyal fans that all will be well come February 14th. That is exactly the same time that Outlaws will be playable again as well. So look out for that. Do I have anything? No. Eve Guillermo out.
Out.
Wow, listen, man, it's always a pleasure to get our legends in the realm. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Eve. Appreciate
you taking the time out and coming through. Somebody say it sounds like Edna from The Incredible. They wild. So yes, look, you got your bars off unless you finish your points. What else is going on?
Shout out to Eve. Eve, just laid it out as he always does. He's the first person to stand on the front lines and defend his developers. So you know how Eve's well known for that.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, and definitely not blaming the gamers for for just having high expectations of the games, like them working properly, things like that nature. So. But yeah, I mean, look, Outlaws needed to work. I mean, I like Outlaws. I like what I played of it. I'm a stealth kind of aficionado, so the difficulty and the cheapness of the stealth didn't really bother me. But I get it; it's not balanced. And there's other aspects of the game that just need work. But I do commend them for being a different open world than what Assassin's Creed or Far Cry is. I do commend them for that, and they got to work on it. There's no reason a Star Wars game, with this much behind it, should sell, be soft in sales. I don't know if there really is an issue with the characterization and the character, the main character. If that really is the case, that would suck because there's a great game there, and I think the essence of old school Star Wars is really well represented in that game. So it would be sad if even after fixing all this stuff the game doesn't do well. And then Shadows, look, like, again, I don't, to me, I understand people's beefs if they're legitimate beefs about having Yasuke there instead of a Japanese samurai. If they are legitimate beefs about whether he's truly a samurai or whatever, if it's veiled racism and bigotry, of course I'm not on your side about this. But to me, if the game wasn't ready for prime time yet and they're realizing this, it's good. It's good. Just give the game more time and make sure it's as good as it can be because big Yote is in the street next year. So you have to be ready. And then beyond that, this idea of them eliminating the season pass model and kind of having everybody on equal footing. Like if you've played the last couple years of any Far Cry game or Assassin's Creed, you know that like the base game is 100+ hours, and then you have like how many expansions to it that add another 100 hours to the game. So it's a lot. And I don't know that the engagement post, base release is that high to sort of warrant it. And I guess they weren't really making that money. So they want to streamline that a little bit and just make it so people are more engaged up front, right? And kind of carry that narrative throughout the lifetime of the game as opposed to people falling off and then a year and a half later you get a 50-hour expansion that nobody's playing. So, I think they're listening and they're trying to figure it out. But we'll see how it all pans out. Obviously, at some point, I hope they announce Splinter Cell, or they actually show Splinter Cell because we know they're making it, or they were making it. We'll see what comes of it. But again, they're on the fire right now, and they have to figure things out.
Yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Like Attic stepped away for a minute, so I guess I'll get King on this. Ubisoft usually no, Addict's back. Okay. Addict, Ubisoft, man, a lot going on. Shadows delay, Star Wars Outlaws. Looks like they're gonna do a whole bunch of title updates and try to listen to the community in reference to that. But what's your whole situation with Ubisoft and obviously Assassin's Creed delay being one of the big ones?
Hey man, I think that's like the whole, thing that people have an issue with, like the woke stuff. I think that's like came on a mind of its own because I think that's almost solely responsible for the low sales on these games. Because I ain't never seen this. Like normally I say that voting for wallet's not useful because, but this is the only time where it's like I think the only ever time I've seen this was Hogwarts Legacy. Where it's like a social movement just completely, and it was the opposite though. It helped. Not hurt it, but it's like, look, I always tell people it's like if you feel strong about it, feel strong about it. But I'm with Saul, like your intentions better be there. It better not be hidden on some racist bull stuff or or anything like that. If you legitly got issues with the way that not just Ubisoft, but companies in general hide and stuff. For instance, I know a lot of people are having issues with the new character in Ghost of Tsushima. So it's just like if that's generally your thing because you feel like maybe the pendulum is swinging too much in one direction, then stand on your square, and it looks like you guys are. So,
There's a lot of square standing
because like Star Wars, like I thought it was an okay game, but like Star Wars normally that number sells by itself. You don't really need anything besides that, but it do be feeling different. I think, in my personal opinion, I think they're trying to delay Shadows out of the holiday because I feel like they think it's gonna flop because of the movement.
Numbers are soft.
I do. I think
and I mean, to your point, not to interrupt you, sorry. To your point, they now if you pre-order, you get the season pass for free.
Yeah, whatever also, that first expansion is or whatever.
To your point, Addict, one last bar I want to give you is normally they launch on the Ubisoft thing. Storefront.
Yeah,
this is a Steam launch.
Yeah.
This
should have never done that.
Sorry, I just wanted to give you those bars because you was cooking.
Yeah, they should have never not. They messed up big time with that.
Regardless how you feel about
they gotta make money.
Yeah, well, because I'm starting to get to the point where I'm just like, we got two icons that normally sell well every time, and it's looking like I think. First off, Assassin's Creed ain't gonna sell in Japan. I don't think it ever has. So
they did pull out a Tokyo Game Show,
but apparently, did they pull out or Japan let them go there?
Pause.
That was pause, but it was represent. Okay, continue. No, that was good though. Continue.
Yeah, I don't know because Japan got it. They made statements on the Shadows game, so it's just like. It's crazy they didn't go to it when they have a game literally coming out like really fast.
Wild.
Well, that's the thing though. Once they had decided that they're pushing it to February, they're like, there's no reason to show it in the state. Because I think a lot of the criticism came from like whoever they showed that to before it went out for more public consumption amongst like the press.
Yeah,
was like, nah, it's not ready. And then all of that other stuff, they just use. Maybe they're using that as an excuse, like, hey, all this other stuff with Outlaws, we're gonna put that all into the same messaging, but. I know what you're saying about taking that game to TGS probably was not the move.
Or are they scared because of the way the Japan government reacted to the game? They get that over there to Japan citizens and how they react to the game and go straight to Twitter, straight to YouTube because social media fire, man. Like it will burn from one screen to another like real fast.
Yeah, I think the initial reaction was one person in the government. And then it never went anywhere from there. So I honestly don't know how the government in general feels about it.
Realistically, what they gonna do about it?
It could just be a feeling within, and then all of a sudden, you getting blacklisted over there, and they're not really telling you what's going on. So that makes sense. Though.
And that PlayStation does it. That makes perfect sense. That's straight on cue. So it's just like it comes down to it's like, look, I've always been the kind of person where it's like. If that's how you guys feel, that's how you feel. I'm still playing it.
Right.
Because I believe even if something does look woke or anything or push agendas or however the terminology you guys are using these days, until I play the game, I'm not going to make assumptions. As long as they do the story, because I feel like you said being in the story makes for a better story than just what's going on over and over again that we see in every, any form of Japan style type of movie, art style. I feel like that makes for a better story. But I'm not going to lie, I watched, what was that dude's name called that you put me on to?
From that does what content specifically?
That covered this like in huge detail.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You talking about Upper Echelon in them?
Yeah, Upper Echelon, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know until he made that video. You say is the only person in Assassin's Creed history of the main character be based on a real person.
Real person. No, that's true. That part is
every other, and it's not just some. Every other Assassin's Creed main character is not a real person. So it's just like, look, like that's why I said, look, some things, okay, you know, maybe there is some form of agenda being pushed, but to me, I don't care as long as the game's good. That's all I care about. Is the game good? Is the game fun to play? And is the story good? That's all I care about. And until, you know, I see the game, because I'm not going to be one of those people that just, because I think I'm not going to play it.
Right.
I need to see the game before I make any assumptions about anything.
Fair enough. I respect it. King, I'm very curious. I know you have a lot. I feel like you have a lot of love for Ubisoft over the years.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So I feel, I always talk to you and you always have good things to say about, what they've been doing. But yeah, that's a big one. Assassin's Creed's delay. Star Wars Outlaw looked like a whole relaunching of, listening to feedback and updates. And then obviously, what's been going on with Ubisoft in general. So what are your thoughts, sir?
Getting the Star Wars IP license and to make a original game in the Star Wars ecosystem is a daunting task within itself. For you to create a character that the fan base doesn't have any ties to, and you think it's just going to sell off of the name Star Wars, that's a hard sell. Now, if you would have did a game with Cad Bane, the game would have sold like hotcakes. And it is the character. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, because it's a female character. No, it's because it's an unknown character. I think that part hurts it more than anything else because Star Wars fans hold on to nostalgia. So you have to build up characters. This is what Disney Plus was supposed to be doing. You're supposed to build up characters to have people fall in love with said characters, make games of characters. That's what is that cross-media, the tri-media thing?
Yeah.
That was supposed to be done. So somebody dropped the ball there. I would have never put out a game with a Star Wars name, with an unknown character, expecting it to have high sales. You just really have to limit your expectations into that scope. And I wouldn't even think that it would sell higher than an Assassin's Creed, because I think Assassin's Creed has a better name when it comes to their fan base.
The now, chat, I'll let you finish because the chat was pushing back only with. I understand what you're saying with unknown, but they say, well, Jedi Survivor, he was kind of like an unknown in that joint. Pop.
The difference with that is Cal is a Jedi, and it's hard to do something without a Jedi. And
no, the difference between that guy is motion capture, and he's a well-known actor. That's the difference between that. You can be like, yo, I saw that dude in Shameless. I like the character in Shameless. So again. That reaches, that reaches.
I didn't know it either.
I didn't know that.
But he also played the Joker.
Yeah. Oh, where he's known?
Right.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He is known. When I saw him, I was like, oh, he's in the game. Okay, I'm down with this.
That's what's up.
All right.
I didn't know that.
And again, Attic is right to the point where a Jedi versus a rogue dude with a gun.
Yeah.
Really? So you want to weld a lifesaver? Anybody can go buy a gun, a pistol, a laser pistol.
Good point.
Anyway, Assassin's Creed.
Let's get to it.
Yeah, I do smell cowardice. I do smell cowardice. You didn't want to smoke out in Japan. You didn't want to step up there.
I think show up to the Summer Jam stage and they game Japan.
I think they heard Ghosts of Yoda was gonna be there.
Ghosts of Yoda.
They was like, yo, we're going to be compared regardless to that title. And that title is going to be more revered than this title because of the controversy that's surrounding this title. We already have board members. Ubisoft stock is trading at like $8.
That was bad.
Right now. So that lets you know right now how many PlayStation 5 Pros, how many stocks you can get to one PlayStation 5 Pro with Ubisoft. You can get a whole bunch of stocks. Instead of buying a PlayStation 5 Pro, go buy Ubisoft stock. They're in dire straits. You know what I don't like?
What you don't like?
It's like they targeting a Valve. A Valve was supposed to come out.
Oh yeah,
in that date.
You gonna like the poll question? You gonna like? They say your album drop here.
Yeah.
Our album drop.
So Valve dip out. And say,
Valve ran from them. Yes,
on February.
Facts.
Right. We're in February. We're gonna be over here by ourselves. being a convoluted month with big Assassin's Creed and then you have Dragon Age and all these dudes. We don't want none of that smoke. We're new IP. We want to stand on our own toes. We want to be over here. And they said Mr. Me Too showed up. And I think it's some type of beef.
Jay-Z, like 4 hours below, he said treated Avowed like Jay-Z treat Nas on the album release.
Like all of a sudden now.
You dropping? I'm dropping too.
Why February, bro? Like what was that about? That was kind of strange to me. But to dip out and then to say that circumstances that was not under your control, that was out of your control, forced you to you had a playable demo. Mm-hmm. The game looks fantastic, runs good, looks great. I see new trailers right before it was supposed to go up. Tell them you just didn't want to smoke with Japan. Tell me you just didn't want people outside picketing in front of there talking about Ubisoft. Tell me you just didn't want any more bad press, because right now, more bad press lowers your stock value. You cannot have it go under. They wanted y'all to go private with your stocks so everybody can't see how much you are actually worth, because you're devaluing and these dudes is losing money. I think it was a calculated move to mitigate the bleeding. They had to put a bandage on, and let's go to next year. Next year will be a better year for us, because if we drop this year with all the stuff that's following us, with the soft sales of Star Wars, this ain't gonna
and then double down on Star Wars for the repairing it to try to get more money back this year, and then come retool. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'll jump in unless you've got your finishing bars, King.
I'm done.
Yeah, man, it's as Salva go. I love when Salve does that. When Salve sighs, it's the funniest trick ever. I mean, that's how I feel with this, man. Look, they definitely fumbled the bag on Star Wars. I was actually thinking about it until it was Attic, and then maybe I think Maddie was the one that pushed me over to be like, "Oh, I'm good." Like I just heard like the loyalty systems and the stealth was kind of underbaked. That was the sense I got. And as a person who loves stealth, I was like, I'm good. I do like that they're taking the feedback. They're going to retool on that. Obviously, it's still a fumble with the Star Wars license. You got the Star Wars license and you fumble. Like, that's supposed to be a slam dunk. And we would assume that wasn't a cheap license, you know what I'm saying? Or sub level. So you got that. The Assassin's Creed Shadows thing is just, man. I mean, shout out to my man Gene Park. He was putting me on. He said, yo, they had an event for the press preview. They were supposed to go to a physical event, all set up. He got the notification from them like a day or two before, event canceled. Flights booked, all like, yo, you had an event where press is supposed to be there and you shut it down. So that's a horrible sign. He was like, yeah, I knew the game was going to be bad at that point. So you got that. The King said, you pull out at Tokyo where your whole game is based out of. Literally, we've always said the Assassin's Creed Ubisoft formula, and never you down bad. Emergency, break glass in case of emergency.
Go to Japan.
We always said this. We was like, yo, we don't feel the need that we need to go to Japan yet. We got other stories to tell. Okay, now you ready.
What the thing was, don't go to Japan with black people. That's
that part. But the whole thing is, now you pull out over there, right? And look, it reeks of desperation in the sense of, you pre-order now, you get the season pass for free, you're not doing all these other things. Like, you are really reaching to try to get people back. Then, to me, when you are the king of buy it at our store, Ubisoft Plus, and you like, nah, Steam.
We need that Steam money, bro.
We need that Steam bread. Like, bro. Now, I got to get to what me and Attic was alluding to. Now, look, y'all know I ain't got no problem with the Yasuke joint. I have no problem with this is historical fiction. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. None of that. If you, because of that, that's your personal thing. That does not bother me. I'm still excited to get the game. But what I am not going to tolerate is, I don't know if y'all saw this destroyed Torygate collectible that they got going on. It's a collectible with Yasuke and then the other chick, I forgot her name. And they almost like in mini format over a Torygate, a broken, destroyed Torygate. Now, if anyone does not understand the significance of this is the same thing that destroyed the American atomic bomb in Nagasaki. The fact that no research was done, the fact that they didn't think that this was inappropriate, I have to question everything about how much research are you doing?
Yeah.
How does this slip through? That is that culture. I can sit there and say, as a black man, I want to say, I don't care. But for that culture, for you to put, that would literally be like you doing Assassin's Creed Israel and you got a collectible with a concentration camp.
Yo.
What are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the most insensitive thing I've ever seen. I'm like, who signed off? Now I got to look at y'all very different. That's a bad look.
Like,
I'm
like
sorry.
Confusing the Puerto Rican flag with the Cuban flag.
Why the PlayStation shot gotta come? I knew the
I'm just saying, it's on par, right? It's
Bro,
like equal.
I'm sorry. And then I look as a man of color. I was as a black man. Excuse my language. With the camera. Bro, it just feels to me convenient that February is the month you decide now you're going to drop this.
Yeah, they need some love.
Right. It just feels like everything's going wrong. You're panicking. Steam, pre-order. Oh man, we messed up on the Tory Gate. Black History Month. I'm sorry. I just got to tell you how it feels to me.
Yo, I didn't even get that.
Think about it. Think about it. My third eye open. I'm with King. Third eye's open, bro.
Right in the heart.
In the heart of Black History Month. It just seems interesting to me. And let's be real.
You know what they're going to do? They're going to have every person of color that's relevant in the industry be covering the hell out of this game.
And what's bad about it, they still not safe. Because Big Monster Hunter is outside. You can't get away from the Monster Hunter smoke. Monster Hunter Wild.
Question.
Yes.
Wild question.
Let's go.
Even though I'm totally against this now. Game Pass bag.
Oh, they may be willing to listen now.
I know, right?
They may have priced themselves out when Microsoft pulled up, but they may be willing to listen now.
Microsoft might move them because of a vow. Like, yeah, we'll take you, but you got to go in March.
Bro, I'm telling you right now, like February is not a good look.
So who's they gonna lose in February?
Bro, you got Monster Hunter Wilds, you got them, of course. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, Avowed, and by the way, Like a Dragon just said they coming out in February too. Pirate Yakuza. Now I get it. Like, listen,
Nintendo might.
And then we forgetting the biggest. But here's the.
And you might have a Switch 2.
And you might have a Switch 2.
Around there too.
And again, we forgetting the dudes who did Japan, quote unquote, allegedly better than you, said we're dropping your year too.
So
Yote, what are they going to do? Where are they running from?
The stuff that's officially been announced.
Early.
Yeah.
Stuff that's officially been announced is Kingdom Come Deliverance on the 11th, Civilization 7 on the 11th, Assassin's Creed Shadow on the 14th, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, I don't know what that is, on the 18th, Avowed on the 18th, Like a Dragon, Pirates, Yakuza in Hawaii on the 28th, and Monster Hunter Wilds on the
28th, bro.
And keep in mind, we are in September.
Right now, exactly. We don't know. There still could be more games announced that come in that month.
There's definitely going to be more because we got the Video Game Awards coming up, which is probably going to announce some things coming up around that time. You got the random events that like to drop around this time. Is Tokyo Game Show officially over, or is it still going? Is this today the last day? Maybe.
I can't remember, but
so they could randomly drop stuff throughout the next week that had to do with Tokyo Game Show. Yeah. It's just like, nah, they should have just licked their wounds and dropped that sucker this year. If it was ready. If it was ready, been delayed because of technical issues.
Yeah.
Because I'll be honest. No, maybe I shouldn't be honest. Okay.
No, be honest. Go say do it.
No. I don't know.
He like people when we get canceled.
Do that.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I'm legally like.
Okay. All right. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Here's the thing. I want Assassin's Creed to flourish, and I do think that this particular situation, because their Assassin's Creed is like Call of Duty to the entire industry.
That's Call of Duty for them.
Like, that's the money that pays for everything. Even though Star Wars doing what it did is going to hurt them, a brand hit through Assassin's Creed might finish them.
If that flops, I'm with Soft. They're in serious trouble.
Because then what's going to happen is it's going to it's going to crack in the fissures, and next year's Assassin's Creed's not going to do the best, and the year after that.
Right.
Like, hey, keep in mind, this is like a year or two after they did. We're dropping an Assassin's Creed every year.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I remember that. Shout out to
they
JC
have a
Cox.
whole universe and stuff dedicated to it now.
Hold on, I got to
It's
shout
like-
out JC Cox. He said all Ubisoft need to do is drop a trailer with Kendrick Lamar music in February. Yo, they stupid. Not like that's all they got to do. I'm sorry, finish.
What Ubisoft needs to do is they need to go back to the drawing board, and you know, one thing I've always said, they'll probably be fine to the logistic of things because we might talk all types of smack on as Ubisoft, but they have a lot of games as a service that do decently well.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's going to be able to like offset some of this cost. Obviously, you know, that stock right, man, hit right. You know, you know what's funny is my brother just went to Taco Bell, spent more money at Taco Bell than the Ubisoft stock's worth right now.
Look, I finished my bars in the sense that look, again, I say all this again as a person who's gonna pick up the game, who's, you know, wants this game to be successful. You know what I mean? Like, I hope that the time makes the game better, and I do want to give, you know. The reason why I'm saying all this and I'm going hard on them because I want them around. Like, my thing is like Ubisoft has tremendous history and we've grown up with them, bro. I've got like I was an Xbox alpha tester. I remember Ghost Recon was one of the first games I played where I heard another human voice. And I'm like, this is the future of gaming. This is what I'm talking.
Losing Ubisoft would be devastating.
Ubisoft, bro, remember
my first human voice was SOCOM.
Shout out to SOCOM. Yes, super messy. You know what I'm saying? But like I remember anything with the Tom Clancy name on it. So remember? Yeah. Tom Clancy. Like, oh, Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six, Tom Clancy. You know what I'm saying? Like Ghost Recon. And then Splinter Cell comes out. Xbox, we like, yo, this is the stealth we want. Michael Ironsides doing the splits with the joint, with the little fist down.
Doing the splits, knocking out the lights so you could create shadows for yourself. Like, yo.
Did they drive the bodies back then too or no?
Yeah, you could grab the bodies, you could put them into the shadows.
Oh, Ubisoft, man. Like I mean, even like I said, you know, I'm obviously a Destiny fan, but bro, Division 1, I was fighting King. King betrayed me. I lost my whole clan in Division.
I'm so glad I never jumped on that.
But we can't disrespect the impact. They were a challenger. They were like, bro, they
were the only real challenger Destiny ever had.
If Slow-Mo, if you here, I will give you that, bro, if you're in the chat. Like, I remember Division 1, New York City, everybody like, bro, we over here, Destiny stale. They had it. They just stopped listening.
That was the worst time to play Destiny because you had no one to play.
No one to play with. And then I lost the whole
wasn't
clan.
like Anthem. Anthem, people left and came back in the same
Facts. Division was Slow-Mo. I'm giving you your flowers. See, he got the eyes of it. You know what I'm saying? Division, New York City was that wave. And then what happened? I speak to Slow. I also had Slow on the last word. I was like, yo, tell me what's going on. They did gear sets. They had Dark Zone. It was lit. And then he was like, bro, they just not listening to the community. And this is what I wanted to get at. Is that now we hearing this toxic positivity from them in terms of we don't want to listen. You know what I'm saying?
What's crazy? We just heard that from
and we just heard that from PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like when I hear that
positivity ruining the industry.
And you try stop it. I already know you popping bottles. Stop it. So what it is, it's like now when you're not taking the feedback. But the interesting thing with this toxic positivity is that I feel like the stakeholders like, yo, what's going on? What are we doing?
Like they're not. Yeah, what's good? Like, that's the thing. It just feels like somebody put a fire to somebody to get this fixed. Because again, like it's just like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. You have all of these franchises that, despite you kind of, you know, taking the formulas and repeating them, but they have tried to figure out how to change and evolve these formulas. It's just like, you know, the same thing. There was too much of a focus on trying to find that Fortnite beater, and that didn't happen. Yeah. And then now you have to course correct, and then everything else you're doing in the course correction, you're just stumbling along the way.
Once again, Fortnite has proven to be the worst thing that's ever happened to the game.
Everybody, then they had like multiple battle royals. But look,
and it's not like Epic or Fortnite's fault. Like they made a colossal giant. Everyone just wants a piece of that.
They wants a piece of that, And then what my thing is, when they start losing their way for me, is the Maddenization of Assassin's Creed. Like, yo, you got to drop every year. Then they started to go away from what I liked them for. But I mean, to their credit, it became more popular when it became more action heavy. But I just didn't like the analyzation. And then, it was crazy. In between, they had some gems that, I liked it when they tried the Mario versus Rabbids. I liked it when they did the Prince of Persia, stuff like that. But it just seems like, man, they kind of lost their way a little bit. And I just want them to get back to where they need to get to. But I don't know if Assassin's Creed flop, bro, I don't know if you come back from that one.
What's that cartoon game that they made? It was really good, and they canceled the sequel.
Cartoon game.
It's like an animated, like climb. Oh no, Fence Rising. That's what
Phoenix
it was.
Rising. Okay.
Phoenix Rising. Oh, Immortals.
That was a phenomenal game. A phenomenal game. And it's like things like that. It's like I get it. Assassin's Creed brings in the money. I get it. But look at all the games you guys just said.
Yeah.
Look at where's Splinter Cell?
Bro, oh, don't get me started.
Like, it's just like, look, you guys got games, and I get it, that make all this money, but you know why all these other games aren't out yet? Yeah. Because you have all these people making Assassin's Creed. Like,
Look, like I said, I'm still picking it up. I'm pulling for the game. I want it to be better. If it makes the game better, but man, that's a rough month to drop. Oh, and by the way,
I think the game is done. I think the game is fine.
Oh, you think they scared?
I just feel investors, business wise, it made no sense for them to be at TGS. Business wise,
I think they were hiding from TGS.
Yeah, I think somebody scheduled it and said, "No, we're gonna go out there. We're gonna stand on our square. We know what we did. We know what it is. Ha 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 ha." And then somebody said, "If our stocks dip to $6, and the rest of your team is dead."
It is kind of mind baffling that you have a game scheduled in Japan, and you're not in like one of the only Japan shows in the year. It is like that's insane.
They should have made that game years ago.
So to me, what that shows is, okay, we know Japan ain't gonna really buy this, but it's just like, to me, it's a little disrespectful. It's like, you made a game in our region and you're not here.
You didn't show up. Yeah, that's kind of wild. So we'll see what happens. But pulling for them, and that's all I pretty much got. Sav, you gonna say something on this?
That's it, man. That's it. Let's see what happens. It's gonna be interesting, man.
No doubt. Super chat, sir.